Hello, Russian learners! Today let's look into the difference between these two words «здесь» and «вот». This lesson will consist of two parts. In the first part, I will teach you when to use «здесь» and when to use «вот». And in the second part, you will learn several contexts where we use the word «вот» and, of course, some love phrases. So I'm inviting you to our classroom and let's get started! «Здесь» is used just to denote location. So when we say that something is located here, and «вот» is used when the speaker wants to draw additional attention to this location, to this place. So let's look at a few examples for you to see the difference. The first one. Дорогая, где мои ключи? So a husband might ask his wife, Дорогая, где мои ключи? Они здесь. Они здесь на столе. So, in the first dialogue, she just says, they are here, on the table. She doesn't add anything else to this word. She's just marking their location. Now let's look at the second phrase. Same question. Дорогая, где мои ключи? Same question. Darling, where are my keys? Now she's saying, вот они, на столе. And when she says, вот они, she points at them. So she kind of draws additional attention. Look, here they are. And in English, you also can change the word order. Right? Here they are. Вот они. Most likely she will point at them. The third phrase. Let's look at the third phrase. Дорогая, где мои ключи? Again, same question. Now she's handing them to him. She says, вот они. Возьми. Take them. Вот они. Возьми. So now she actually hands the keys to her husband. That is why, again, she kind of puts additional attention, additional meaning to these keys because she's handing them. Here, she doesn't do anything, right? She's just saying where they are. They are here. So she's marking their location. Let's look at more examples with the word «здесь» and then at more examples with the word «вот» to understand the difference better. Let's look at some examples to better understand the difference between «здесь» and «вот». So, the first two phrases. Ты где? Я здесь. And кто здесь? Я. Normally, when we ask a person where he is or where she is, we use the word «здесь» in the answer. So, ты где or где ты, we can change the word order here. Я здесь. We don't say я вот or вот я, only in very rare cases. But normally we will say я здесь. And кто здесь? Who is here? Who is located here right now? Кто здесь? Я. Next example. Что здесь? Здесь банк. For example, you are a tourist in Russia and you are on an excursion and you ask your tour guide, что здесь? You see a beautiful building and you ask, what is here? What is located here? Что здесь? Здесь банк. So here we don't highlight this location like here it is. We are just asking what's here, what's located here. And more emphasis falls on the actual noun, on the noun bank. In the fourth example, it's a different situation. For example, you are again on a tour in St. Petersburg and you are looking for the Hermitage museum. And you ask a person on the street for directions. So you say, извините, excuse me. Вы не знаете, где Hermitage? So, do you know where the Hermitage is? Вы не знаете, где Hermitage? And if it's right in front of you, but you are just not noticing it, and you don't know that this building is the Hermitage, for some reason, the person who is talking to you might say, "Вот он," like, "Here it is, look." So he tries to draw your attention to this building that you are not noticing, that you don't know that this is the Hermitage. So, "Вот он," and they point at it, right? When you point at something, you will always say "вот." If this person wants to add even more emphasis, like, "Look, can't you see? Don't you know that this is the Hermitage Museum?" Like, how could you not know it? Probably this person doesn't know that you are a foreigner on a tour. So, in this case, they might say, "Да вот же он." So these two particles, "да" and "же", add more emotions to the phrase. As I said, this phrase tells you that the person is very emotional and he wants to say, look, it's right here. Да вот же он." A few more examples, and then we will move on to the phrases with the word "вот." Здесь не курят. No smoking here, or literally, here people don't smoke. So you might see this phrase at the signs in restaurants, in public places. So here we say здесь because we don't put anything in front of the person's eyes. We're just speaking about location. In this location, people don't smoke. Next phrase. Здесь у нас ванная, а здесь кухня. So here, imagine you have a guest and you are showing them your apartment. So you say, here we have a bathroom, here we have a kitchen. Again, it's just saying like, here the bathroom is located, here the kitchen is located. So we use здесь. However, if the guest asks you, где ванная, right? Where is the bathroom? Где ванная? And you are showing it to him, and you say, вот, or even вот здесь, like you emphasize twice. It's located here and you can see it. It's right here, вот. You draw his attention to it. Next, здесь раньше был рынок. Previously, there was a market here. Again, it's just saying that in this location, there was a market, but now maybe there is a square or something else. Again, it's just speaking about location, not drawing attention to it. Number 4. Извините, у вас есть ручка? Да, есть. Вот, пожалуйста. So I can say, вот, пожалуйста. Here, take it. Here it is. Or, please take it, right? Пожалуйста. Here you are. This phrase is used when you are giving something to somebody and you say it because it's a polite phrase, right? Especially when you speak to a person formally. Like here, извините, у вас есть ручка? So this is the formal you and the formal excuse me. So you say вот, пожалуйста, as a polite phrase when you are giving something to somebody. By the way, if you go to a restaurant in Russia or in Ukraine or in some other post-Soviet country and you order food, the waiter will bring it to you and he will say вот, пожалуйста, or something like that. So вот is used as kind of here you go, here you are. Next, извините, я не могу найти этот документ. Вот, нашел. Masculine form or вот, нашла. The feminine form. So when you say sorry, by the way, извините can mean two things, excuse me and sorry. Sorry, I can't find this document. Here it is, I found it. So now you see it, now it's right here, right in front of your eyes, so you kind of draw another person's attention, like, look, here it is, I found it. Look at it together with me. Okay, I hope you grasped the idea of the difference between здесь and вот. If you still have questions about these words, you can book lessons at our online school, ARusPro.com, and our tutors will give you more examples, more contexts, so that you see these words compared in many contexts, and you will finally learn how to use them. And of course, watch my videos. The more you watch, the more contexts you see, and the more you learn to see like a Russian-speaking person. And now, let's learn some phrases with the word вот, some useful phrases that you can use with your wife or girlfriend. First, let's look at the use of вот when we express emotions. And the first situation is when you express disappointment or when you are upset. Let's look at the example. For example, you are talking to your girlfriend and she's telling you that she will not be able to meet this weekend because she has a lot of work. К сожалению, в эти выходные не получится встретиться. На работе завал. And you reply, ну вот, а я уже билеты в театр купил. So this phrase, ну вот, is used to express your disappointment. Is used to express that you are upset about it. It's like, oh no, yes, I am very disappointed. I am upset. And here we actually say ну. Yes, we add this short word that doesn't really mean anything. It's like an exclamation word, but it's used to add more emotions to the phrase. Also, you can say this phrase. Ну вот, так всегда. If this happens regularly, so if she cancels your dates regularly because of work, you can complain about it and say, ну вот, так всегда. So you always do this. This disappointment always happens. Imagine that at some point you are tired of her excuses, you are tired of her canceling your dates, and one day you say this phrase, so you don't give her any options. В эти выходные мы идем в ресторан. Возражения не принимаются. So this weekend we are definitely going to the restaurant. No objections, or literally, objections are not accepted. And she's pleasantly surprised by your decision, and she says, вот как. So here's what she's saying. Вот как. Да, вот так. And you confirm your decision. Да, вот так. Please bear in mind that here we put emphasis on вот. So вот как. If you're surprised, you will say вот как. And in this phrase, we put emphasis on the ending. Вот. Да, вот так. So you confirm with putting emphasis on так, you confirm what you said before. Let's look at next phrase. We use the word вот in a combination with the word such when we speak about big size or good quality. Let me show you some examples. Since the word such in Russian changes by gender and number, we have four examples, 4 sentences. So, the first one. Это была вот такая рыба. So imagine you have a friend who likes fishing and he's bragging about the fish that he caught recently. So he may use the word вот in the combination with the word такая, which is the feminine form of the word such in Russian. Feminine because it agrees with the word рыба, which is feminine, fish. So he is telling you about this fish and he shows it. Вот такая. Or sometimes they show it like this. Вот такая, like this long. So, вот here again has the meaning of showing something, showing it right here in front of your eyes. Next example with the masculine word. Это был вот такой таракан. So this was such a big cockroach. Of course, when I'm showing it like this, I'm exaggerating, and people also do this when they use the word вот in this context. So, такой here is masculine because the word таракан ends in a consonant and it's masculine. The next phrase, here we are not describing the size of the noun of this object, but we are describing the good quality. And just like in the first 2 phrases, we combine that description with gestures. So when we say вот plus such, we always show it with gestures. So here, let's see. Недавно посмотрел фильм «Бриллиантовая рука». Вот такое кино. Вот такое кино. So, this movie is this good. Such a good movie. And it really is. It's a Soviet film. And it's really good. I recommend you to watch it. Next. У него были вот такие глаза. So he had such big eyes. By the way, in the previous example, we had the word кино, which is neutral in Russian, and the word such, такое, agrees with this noun. It's also neutral. Глаза, eyes, is plural, so here we have the plural ending. Great, this was the use of the word вот to emotionally describe the size or the good quality of something. Moving on to the next context. We also use the word вот as a vocal filler. So we fill in pauses when we speak. Normally we put it at the end of the sentence. And we say it when we need to think about the next phrase or just letting the other person know that this sentence is finished, or maybe when it's difficult to say what we are saying. So let me give you an example. Imagine that a couple have just started their relationship and they are they haven't said I love you yet. So they haven't expressed their feelings to each other, but they kind of think about each other and want to let the other person know about it. So let's read this dialogue and let's see how we use what here. So a man calls his potential girlfriend and says, Я гулял по торговому центру, хотел купить галстук. Вот. А потом увидел матрешку в сувенирном отделе и подумал о тебе. Вот. И решил позвонить. So, he is telling a story how he was walking around the shopping center and he saw a matryoshka doll and he thought about her and decided to call. But it's still difficult for him to say these words. It's difficult for him to tell her he's thinking about her. So he's choosing his words and he fills in the pauses with this word. And her potential reply can be «Хорошо, что ты позвонил. Я тоже думала о тебе». It's good that you called and I was thinking about you too. I was also thinking about you. I think this story will have a happy ending. And we are moving to the next category of phrases with the word вот. The next context when we use the word вот is when we guess about something. And here we have two phrases to look at. Let's look at the first one. Так вот оно что. So, let me describe a context when you can say this phrase. Imagine that you are watching a detective movie with your girlfriend, and the plot is weaving and you both don't know yet who the murderer is. But suddenly she guesses who it is and she tells you about it. But at first you don't understand why she thinks so and how she came to this conclusion. So she starts explaining it, she starts elaborating on her reasoning, and finally you follow her logic and you also come to the same conclusion. And at this point you say this phrase. Так вот оно что. I guessed. So it's like a Eureka moment for you. Of course, if you guessed it first, before she did, you can also say this phrase. It's like a climax of your thinking process that results in a Eureka. The next phrase, так вот о чем ты. This is literally, so that's what you're talking about. We say this phrase when a person tries to tell us about something and we don't understand at first, but then we understand. For example, imagine that your girlfriend tries to describe to you what tvorog is. So tvorog in Russian is cottage cheese, so it's type of cheese. But she doesn't know this word in English, and she is trying to describe the process of making tvorog. Finally, you guess it, right? You guess what she's talking about, and you tell her, or you say to her this phrase, так вот о чем ты. So that's what you're talking about. Please bear in mind that here we put emphasis on вот and on что. So let me read this phrase again. Так вот оно что. Так вот оно что. And here, так вот о чем ты. So we always put emphasis on вот. And the guessing part of this phrase, the Eureka part of this phrase, is in the word вот. So it's like you are seeing it now, right? You see it. It's again in front of your eyes. That's why you say вот. Так вот оно что. Так вот о чем ты. By the way, the second phrase, if you want to make it formal, you just replace ты with вы. Так вот о чем вы. This is when you are talking to a person formally. Right? I hope you got this idea, and we are moving to the next context when we use the word вот. We also use the word вот when we want to show how something is done. So let me show you these two examples. Сынок, во что ты играешь? So imagine a father is asking his son, Сынок, во что ты играешь? The son answers, Я играю в метро. А это как? Asks the father. А вот так. The son replies. So, а вот так. Here's how it's played. Let me show you. We ask, а это как? Right? So how is it literally? It's a very short phrase, but the meaning is how is it done? How is it played? And the answer will be а вот так. So now I'm going to show you. After I say this phrase, I'm going to show you how it is done. And a similar example. Как ты это делаешь? How are you doing it? Or how is it done again? А вот так. Очень просто. Смотри. So here's how. Very simple. Look. So after this phrase, а вот так, or simply вот так, we show how something is done. Moving on to the next one. We also use the phrase вот так in the meaning of such is life. We can't do anything about it. Normally, we use it as an exclamation. And sometimes we add another вот at the end. So we can say вот так or вот так вот. Let me show you this dialogue as an example. Они пытались купить эту технологию на внешнем рынке, но им не продали. Как это? У нас же капитализм. За деньги должны были продать что угодно. А вот так вот. Санкции. So, as you can see, such is life, right? А вот так. So, there's nothing we, ordinary people, can do about it when we have sanctions. I hope you read this example. And now let me show you how we use this phrase in a love phrase and how you can use it with your girlfriend. Let's look at the phrase вот так, meaning such is life, or вот так вот, in the following context. So imagine he is saying this to her. Вот хотел с тобой на выходные слетать на Луну. Но, оказывается, у меня чуть-чуть на билет не хватает. Так что только в Доминикану. Вот так вот. Извини. So, obviously, this man doesn't have problems with money and he can make this joke. If you are one of these men, you can use it too, right? Such is life. Like, I can't do anything about it. Well, I don't have enough money to fly to the moon, but we can fly to the Dominican Republic. Why not? Now, this phrase, such is life, of course, we have the literal translation of this phrase in Russian. It will be такова жизнь. Mind the emphasis. Такова жизнь. C'est la vie, or such is life. This is the literal translation. However, since we are talking about the word вот today, we discuss this meaning. I hope you got this, and we are moving to the next example. The next phrase is вот так и plus verb. And the meaning of this phrase is this is the way something happened. So when you ask someone, how did it happen? How did you do it? You can tell your story and finish it with this phrase. So let's look at some examples. Imagine that you met that rich guy from the previous example who was going to take his girlfriend to the Dominican Republic, and you are asking him, how did you get rich? Как ты разбогател? And he answers, пошел копать картошку и наткнулся на сундук с сокровищами. Вот так и было. Честно. So, he is telling his story, how he got rich. Of course, it's not a true story, and probably he doesn't want to reveal the true details of this process. So he just jokes with you. But he finishes his story with this phrase. Вот так и было. Literally, and so it was, and so it happened. This is the way it happened. He also adds честно. This is a very useful word because you can add it to anything, to any monologue, to any story that you tell, to make people believe, to let them know you are not lying, you are telling the truth. But if the story is very, very odd, like this one, of course, this couldn't happen ever. If the story is very strange and people will not believe you anyway, this word will not help you, of course, but it will be a good joke. Yes, if you're smiling and if you're saying честно, people will smile at you too, and they will think it's a good joke. Next phrase. Let me read it first and then I'll explain. Он по ошибке улетел в другой город, и его ключ подошел к ее двери. Вот так они и познакомились. So I hope you can see this word here, познакомились. So he flew to another city by mistake and his key fit the lock on her door. So this is the way they got acquainted. This is actually a story that was described or that was shown in another Soviet movie, which is called The Irony of Fate, or in Russian, Ирония судьбы. Ирония судьбы, or The Irony of Fate. You can find it on YouTube. It's a very good romantic story, a New Year story, when two people get acquainted by mistake, actually. So, but I will not reveal details. Please watch it. I'm sure you will like it. Turn on the English subtitles. So, here we again see this phrase, вот так и, plus the verb, got acquainted. So this is how it happened. Moving on to the next context. The next phrase is вот и всё. Actually, you should pronounce it with a sigh. Вот и всё. Because the meaning is that something is finished and you are not happy about it. You wish it to continue, but it's finished. If you know the word всё in Russian, it's written всё, but you pronounce it as всё, like this. Всё. So this word literally means everything or all, but we also use it to mark the finish of something. So when you finished, for example, in school, when students finish their task, when they finish doing a test, for example, then they can say я всё, I finished. With this phrase, when we add вот и всё, we add this meaning of regret. So let's look at some examples. Вот и всё. Вот и кончилось лето. So that's it. The summer has finished. It's finished. Of course, you are not happy about it, so you add вот и все. Вот и кончилось лето. By the way, in the second sentence, we also has this part вот и, which adds this meaning of regret. And another example. Let's come back to our rich guy and let's see what he says. Вот и все. Это был последний шанс купить новый самолет. Из-за кризиса цены подскочили. И теперь только в следующем месяце. Ох уж этот кризис. So here he regrets about the fact that he couldn't buy a new plane because of the crisis. That was the last chance. So if you miss a chance and it was your last chance, you also say вот и все. Like, I don't have any other opportunities to do it. We also have here this interesting phrase, an emotional phrase, an exclamation when you say, this crisis or this something. Ох уж. So this emotional connotation here it is added by these words. Ох уж этот кризис. So you see, not only ordinary peoples are suffering from the crisis, and rich people do it too. But let's be optimistic and let's do what we should do. I'm sure everything will be sorted out soon. Everything will be okay. One more thing in this phrase. Следующем месяце. In the next, literally in the next month. So in Russian we use this preposition in. And a tip, a pronunciation tip regarding this word. We write it like this. Следующем. Well, actually, the dictionary form will be следующий месяц. Next month. So we write it with the U, следующий. But I recommend you to omit it when you say it. So say it like this. Следующий, следующий. This will be easier for you to pronounce it. Very good. So remember, все and следующий. Two pronunciation tips for you. Moving on. Let's draw a short summary. Now you know that when we use the word здесь, it's pure location, location in general, without any additional connotation. And when we say вот, we mean look, here it is, right here. You have also learned about several contexts where the word вот is used. Of course, the contexts I've shown you today are not all the contexts, because the Russian language, like any other language, changes and different other meanings appear. But this information will be a good guide for you to start. If you have a native speaker or native speakers around, listen to what they say, ask them for more examples, and you will gradually be able to use the word вот just like they do. If you liked what you heard today, please give me a thumbs up, and if you still have questions or want to add something, post your comments in the comment section. Your feedback is very, very important to me. So, до свидания for now, and see you in the next video.